people read your book, they'll see in the beginning of it that there are defining moments for you. One of them happened, I mean, for goodness sake, when you were a toddler, right? I mean, you had polio.
Got polio when I was 2 years old. My dad was over in Europe fighting the Germans. My mother
was about 10 years before the vaccine.
Yeah, it was. And my mother was basically struggling with the comeback. Polio has largely been eradicated today, but what would happen is you'd have a flu-like episode,
right?
And when it went away, you could be everything from dead to completely recovered, or all various forms in between. It affected my left quadricep, the muscle between the knee and the hip. Their fear was that I would have to wear a brace the rest of my life. Happily, we were within 60 miles of Warm Springs, Georgia, which was a treatment center that President Roosevelt had set up for polio victims. My mother took me over there. They taught her a physical therapy regimen. She literally watched me like a hawk for 2 years and administered this 4 times a day. My first memory in life was the last trip to Warm Springs. They said to my mother, I think he's going to be a normal kid and be able to walk without a brace and without a limp.
Really? That's your first thing that you, everybody always asks, what's the first thing? That's the first thing you remember?
First memory of life. And but an early lesson.
How old were you?
I was 4.
Oh.
Yeah. The episode was from 2 to 4. And I thought, you know, it was probably a defining moment for me. We have these things that occur to us very early in life that are significant down the road. And I thought the message was, work hard, keep at it, and the chances are pretty good you can overcome the barriers that are before all of us in trying to achieve what we hope to achieve.
And so much of that went into kind of shaping who you were. And you wanted to be a senator for a long time, which I thought was interesting as well. I mean, you almost planned it, plotted it. You took positions that would set you up for it from the time you were a fairly young person in your 20s.
Yeah.
After, as an aside, being a professional baseball player apparently didn't.
Well, after giving up a bases-loaded home run,
I read about that in
an All-Star game, I decided maybe I better go in a different direction. So I picked a different kind of competition and ended up running for president of the student council in high school, having a successful campaign, and one thing led to another, and I found myself in Washington as an intern to a senator during the period when the civil rights filibuster was broken. And I thought, well, you know, maybe someday I might be able to pull this off myself. It's kind of a long shot.
Well, you thought it then. So one thing didn't really lead to another. You had it in your head the whole time.
You know, I never did anything on the spur of the moment. You know, this is an instant gratification era we're in where overnight sensations pop up all the time. For me, it never worked that way. I was always a little bit skeptical about simple answers to complex solutions or thinking you could start late and succeed.
Right.
So I was always a planner, and for me, I think it worked. I think it probably works for most people.
Well, I would think, as the Senate Majority Leader of the United States, that, yeah, most people would say that worked. So thanks a lot for coming in. Good luck with the book. I mean, it's a different side of you, I guess a lot of people don't know about. But
thank you. Appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Senator Mitch McConnell, the Majority Leader. The book is The Long Game.